Alright, I'm going to go right there with it. Again, let me just focus this on this edge here closer to me. You can see I'm at that edge, and I made sure I was that's pretty level, and that's why I say, people don't have to take my word, and I don't expect them to. I really try to inspire people to do this test themselves. I mean, you can, come on, people, use some ingenuity. You can come up with a way to test this yourself. Let me focus back on the boat. And this way, I backed up a little bit so you can see me put the cover on that thing down there. Okay, it's obvious to me that, I could not see what I was doing when I go down to the end of the gutter. Well, I couldn't see what my camera was actually filming, but, after reviewing this footage, I decided, man, I'm going to make some videos out of it because it really does have some excellent stuff in here, that pertains to filming and optical effects over water. It doesn't even have to be over water. We get some of these same effects from land. Now, you'll notice when I put this cover over the top, it really doesn't do anything. But one of the things is you'll notice when I put the back gutter panel on, the angle of the sun's actually to the right of the gutter. It's around 11 o'clock, something like that. So it's not directly overhead. But one of the other things I want to point out here, hang on one second, I'm going to put an arrow. All right, right on top of this plate, we see what we get is a reflection of the little glistening bubble in the background, or light. That light's being refracted. And look at it as the wind blows. It doesn't actually go underneath that little plate. It stays above it. That's light diffraction off the leaves that are back there. So we got, the foreground, middle ground, and background. And right now I'm focused on the middle ground, which obviously you can see that, boats in focus, flashlights in focus. The flashlight wound up being worthless because it just isn't dark enough to use it to get any results out of it. But, honestly, you can actually see the light reflecting off the left side, reflecting back to the left side of the boat. So that is the angle of light that's coming in on that boat. And these are the things, these small details that I look at that, I see is the same thing that occurs with, like, that background diffracted light reflecting off that surface of that little plate I put on top of the gutter. That's just like the sun trying to set, and it's just blending into its own reflection. That's reflecting on top of that little thin plate. Actually, it's just a little piece of aluminum that I set up there, just to block out the sunlight on the boat. But as you see, the way that light's coming in, it's really not blocking it out. Maybe I don't have it directly over it, but anyhow, too, on the left-hand side at the top of the gutter, you see a droplet of water. And somebody would say, well, there you go. Water sticks to the bottom of the curve or the bottom of the globe. But if I add a little bit more water, that little bead of water will fall right off. Why? Because of its weight cannot be supported by that little area that it's hanging on to. It's kind of like water tension. Dew will, collect on the side of a bottle, but, as that dew builds up, that dew drops down. It just slides right off. Now, here, when I put the cover on the back, look at the diffraction line on the boat in this general area. Um, you do see a difference. And there's another thing I want to bring up. Hang on one second. You also see this distorted water line along that edge on the right. That water is being distorted um, just because it's getting a little bit of wind and wave causing that little distortion of the water. Also, you see when I put the blocked out some of the light, how I lost some of the focus. And that's something too that when I get, clouds or I'm filming over the water and the clouds are blocking out some of the sunlight, I actually do get better visibility at times. And then at other times, I don't. And this, again, all comes down to temperature of the water, temperature of the air. These both play a big role in when we're filming over water to get good visibility. Visibility is something that, you know, if you listen to the marine weather radio, which I have many times in the past, and they will come out and say, well, there's a 10-mile visibility, 11-mile visibility, 3-mile visibility. So what are they referring to? If a man standing 6 foot tall can only see 3 miles to the horizon, well, why are they saying that there's an 11-mile visibility when you can only see 3 miles? Why? Because you can see that 11 miles. They don't mention, oh, 7 miles of refraction is causing, being pulled up from behind the curve. No, they tell you the truth. Why? Because it is the truth, and they can't really come out and support the globe and when they're talking about, visibility reports. And again, there's a lot of things that I can pick out on these. The refraction or the diffraction, light diffraction on all the edges of all the objects that are there. When I focus in on them, I get, to actually see the edge. But when they're a little bit out of focus, you do get this diffraction. So if I focus in on the edge, the boat goes out of focus. If I focus in on the back, everything in the front foreground is going to go out of focus. And this is the same thing that occurs, when a boat is low to the water and we're trying to focus in on the boat, the water, the last visible wave, angular resolution that we can resolve, right, gets diffraction, and that diffraction rises up and blocks us out from seeing the lower hull of the boat. Similar to what you are seeing here. Not exactly, but very similar. Again, here I was trying to use a little light, cast some light in there. It did cast some light on a couple of the water droplets dangling off the side, or, that could even be anything that's on that edge right there. I don't even know. It could be dirt, something along the edge that's reflecting the light. It could be a water droplet too. And again, somebody say, well, look, water sticks to the sides of them all. No, this is water tension. And, again, we see that when a bottle of, soda, beer, anything that you got there, it will dew up and then this dew sticks to the side. Um, but when you start paying attention to a lot of these details, things start making more sense to me, being that I'm out doing these observations on a constant basis. That I use them really to prove to myself of what I see going on out there. Now, other people, they don't like my long observations, which is fine, and I can understand that, not everybody has the time to spend, looking at these and trying to decipher for themselves what they're seeing. Um, and I understand that. I don't have all the time to watch all the videos that, some people that I subscribe to. So, I have to delete them because it just isn't going to, I just don't have the time to watch them all. But also, you see when I take the back off, the difference in the view, the difference in the light, the angle of light coming in on it. Now, if you look right here, the edge of this water seems to be pulled down on the left side. Now, It could be the angle of my camera that's causing that effect, but you can also see that little point on the left side of my, pretend make-believe boat. Um, but you also see it getting a little bit of distortion going on right in that area. Again, this is just due to optics. Um, Also because it's close to the edge of the water, so the camera has a hard time resolving it and making sense of it. Same with our way with our eyes. When we look at, say 2 quarters up close, you see 2 quarters. Now you start moving them quarters back. Riley's criterion, right? These 2 quarters will appear to just blend into each other, um, and just appear to be just one coin and not two. Um, and this is where all these people, globe defenders want to make up all these stories and everything, and also watching in the background how that background light is blending into this gutter, and kind of getting pulled down or pulled into it is another tale. They it really tells me a lot. And again, if I didn't go out here and look at this and look at the edge of that boat again where the water line goes, you see it kind of look like it dips. It doesn't. It is still going straight across there. It's just that you cannot resolve it properly. So it's getting distorted and it's looking like it's cutting downward. It's getting pulled downward. Why? I think too, because it's real close to that diffraction line of the edge of that gutter. Again, think for yourself. These are my opinions. You may not agree with them, but that's fine. This is just something that we all need to do. Thanks a lot for watching.